Sri Krishna Namaha. Now we are going to see something about the yogic foods. In Bhagavad Gita, that is in chapter 17, Krishna says to Arjuna that Aharastvapi sarvasya trivido bhavati priyah yajna tapas tatadhanam tesham vedam imam shruno. That is, even the food that is tasty to them is of three types. Similarly, sacrifice, tapas and benevolence. Now, Krishna is going to explain us further what are the yogic foods. So, this verse says that there are three types of foods, and the three types of foods are liked by three different types of people. So, what are the three types of foods? First is the sattvic food. Now, this is called as yogic food in other sense. So, Ayu Sattva Bala Arogya Sukha Preeti Vivartanaha Rasya Siddha Stira Hridyam Ahara Sattvika Priyaha. That is, the food which is juicy, fat, solid and delicious, that fosters longevity, purity, strength, health, happiness and love, caters to the taste of the virtuous, that is the sattvic people. So let us go in detail of this. And now we should know that these three types of foods are associated with the three gunas of a man. So the first guna is purity, and that is called as sattva. So the yogic nutrition or diet is based on the pure and the sattvic foods. Now the sattvic foods, what will they do to the person who consumes this? The sattvic foods calm the mind, sharpen the intellect. These are the pure, wholesome foods and naturally delicious. They include fresh and dried fruits, pure fruit juices, raw and lightly cooked foods, vegetables, salads, grains, legumes, nuts, whole grain foods, honey, fresh herbs and herbal teas, and dairy products such as milk, butter and even the clarified butter. That is, a clarified butter is otherwise called as the ghee. And this sattvic food is actually prepared in the house by the sattvic people. And we should know that the frame of mind decides the type of food. If a person has got a pure state of mind and pure state of intellect and he's got a very good devotion towards the God, then the food prepared by them is also going to be sattvic. So in this sattvic food, we normally don't include such as radish, drumstick, onions and garlic. These four types of food, including the mushroom, is not a sattvic food. So they are all the rajasic food. And we should know that the sattvic diet brings purity and calmness to the mind. So, and soothing. So that is why when we go to a yoga center to learn about yoga, the yoga teacher or the guru or Swamiji talks about the food. The food is very important to a man. That is why I say always to my students that you are what you eat. The food decides your mind. The food decides your fate. The food decides your karma. The food decides about the nature of dharma. It gives you the mental clarity and state of mind, and it increases the equilibrium. The next food is the rajasic or hyperactive foods. Now, what Krishna says about that in Bhagavad Gita is Katpamala, Lavanati, Ushna, Tikshna, Rukshna, Vidadinaha, Ahara, Rajasa Seshta, Dukkha Shoka, Mayapradaha. As the sattvic food gives the happiness and a serenity to the person who eats, the rajasic food gives only the dukkha, that is a suffering. So, the food that are pungent, sour, salty, spicy, sharp, harsh and burning are covered by the rajas natured person. A person who is in the rajasic state of mind likes this type of food, and let us go into the detail. The yogic nutrition avoids this type of foods. Now what are they? As I told you before, they are overstimulating. They are overstimulating and hyperactive foods. They are onions, garlic, excessive tea and coffee, tobacco or rajasic. They are highly spiced. They are very salty, and these come under the fast foods and the snacks. And the rajasic foods are the ones which is usually sold in all these hotels, and it is sold, most of this are sold in the supermarkets. So if you go to the supermarket, it is very difficult to find the sattvic food. Normally, or 80%, 70% of the foods are the rajasic foods. Refined sugar, soft drinks and chocolate are also rajasic. So rajasic foods arouse animal passions, bring in a restless state of mind. And foods that destroy the balance of the mind is rajasic. And next is this the food that are bitter, sour, saline, excessively hot. They are the rajasic, and they result in grief and disease. And now we will go to the tamasic food. Inertia. Tamasic means inertia or lethargy or laziness. That which is spoiled, tasteless, putrid, stale, leftover, unclean is the food agreeable to the tamas natured person. So yata yamam, gata rasam, puti, parushtam, tayat, uchishtam apichamedyam, bhojanam tamasapriyam. So 1 yama means 3 hours. So if a food is eaten after 3 hours after after the food is made, then that food is lost. The food loses its rasa. The food loses its rasa. That is, the essential nutrients are lost in the food. So that is a tamasic food. So tamasic substances are avoided in the yogic diet because they produce a feeling of heaviness and lethargy. So what are the types of foods? Meat, fish, egg, drugs, alcohol, overcooked, packaged food. Now when I say about the packaged food, this is the food which is mostly available in the market, that is the supermarket. So this is the type of food which has to be avoided. So other tamasic food are those which are fermented, burned, fried, over fried, reheated many times, or the stale foods. Even the mushrooms are considered tamasic because it is grown in the dark. And overeating is also tamasic. A tamasic diet benefits neither body nor the mind. It makes a person dull, lethargic, lacking in high ideals. And such a food or such an individual will suffer from chronic ailments and even depression. So there is no point in a person just practicing yoga, pranayama and dhyana. So a person who is interested in a total transformation has to take all the steps from the Bhagavad Gita and change the food accordingly, so that the food and the yogic practice and the environment creates a transformation in a person, which is the summit of yoga. Sri Krishnaya Namaha.